Okay, everybody, Seattle 206723 here, and we're going to do another cognac review. And this one is going to be Martell. You already know by reading the description box what it is, but this is Martell XO, Martell XO versus Martell Cordon Bleu, which is this guy right here. And of course, we're doing an elitist cognac drinkers video, so you've got your coasters placed properly. This is the XO. This is the Cordon Bleu. I have a little bit of water here to work in between. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a nosing on each one, and then we're going to do a taste and finish on each one. And I'll give you my opinion on which one it is. Now, main differences is the Cordon Bleu isn't designated an XO, but it's a blend of cognacs, EUDV cognacs, and the big difference when you're looking at it is Martell's uses a lot of the borderlines cognacs. Think of it like your Islay or Speyside or Highland areas. Theirs pretty much breaks down into the Grande Champagne, the Borderies, Ben Ordains, and I believe there's one more, but I'm not sure exactly which one that is. But they break down into borders. Martell's likes to use the borderlines area, which would be a different made grapes that go into the particular cognacs. Martell's uses, like I said, Martell's uses borderlines, Grande Champagne, which is what Remy uses, and Hennessy, I believe, uses. Well, I know Cavassier uses the Bois area. They're definitely in there, and I believe Hennessy uses the Grande Champagne as well. Now let's kind of give you some of the areas, the regions. They use mostly grapes from those areas, but they will use a combination of some of the others. Like this particular Martell is mainly with the Borders area grapes. The grapes are pretty much your. Let's see here. I wrote it down. The names on those is Ugni Blanc, and the Folly Blanche, and the Colombard grapes. And those are pretty much the three. They're sour grape, they're bitter grape. That's the reason why they need the maturity, and they use the wood of the oak, limousine oak barrels, because they use a limousine oak barrel. And those particular, in cognacs in those regions, most of the barrels are of that particular oak, limousine oak. Now, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to see here if I have something white, like a piece of paper to use to show you guys the, what's the name? Yeah, I got something here that should work. An envelope. Okay. Cordon Bleu. You can see it's got some darkness there. Now, another thing is this is the XO. You can compare that one. It's dark as well. Very similar, kind of a topaz coloring. Topaz color with each one, dark. With cognacs, they can also add burnt brown sugar to the barrels. There's nothing wrong with them doing it. They'll do it sometimes to add a little bit of color to it, so that you can take that for what it's worth. As far as the legs go on the Cordon Bleu, see if I can get you a good look at that one. See if we can. There. Definitely got legs. There they are. So they start to form and come down in a spiral-like event. So it's got some legs there, which is a sign of age. Martell's also likes to use between 10 to 35-year-old in their XOs for sure. They'll use a mix of different cognacs from 10 to 35 years old. And correction, they call it EUDVs until they actually ferment, until they actually barrel. And they'll take those from 10 to 35 years old and they'll blend them together to see what they got. Pretty much the same thing as 10 and up, 10 to 35 for the Cordon Bleu as well. And we'll go ahead and go on the nose with the Cordon Bleu. Martell. You get your spice. I'm getting a little bit of spice, a little bit of delicate candy. I'm getting hints of floral. Yeah, there's the candy, a little bit of spice, hint of floral. Definitely 3. Okay. Martell XO on the nose. Wow, big difference. Big difference. Same house, similar profiles, bigger candy notes on this one. It's almost a mentally like smell there. I mean, but this is a big nose profile on the XO. They're definitely, this is an older style. They tell you this on the Cordon Bleu. It's a classic style cognac. This is big on candied fruit. Trying to get past that. That's big. The floral note comes up a little big too. It's more pronounced. Get a little bit of spiciness from like the wood it's been sitting in. Kind of a little bit of a damp cellar as well. Mentally candied, spicy, barrely, a little bit of barrel with floral on the nose. Wow. The nose on that Martell XO is incredible. That's what is great as well. Well, the big differences between these two are going to show up on the palate, and I'm going to tell you the distinctive differences between the two. So let's go ahead. Martell Cordon Bleu on the palate. Nice, smooth arrival. Instantly comes in very balanced. Wow, that's old school. You would think this is an XO, but it's not. Hardly any alcohol, a little bit. As we start to go through the motions, it's balanced and it portrays all your notes. It's smooth, not full bodied in the mouth. It's got the oiliness to it. It's got the candied fruit. Oh, there's that wood spice now finishing up with the oak. I want to say the limousine oak. It's definitely there on the finish. But on arrival, you get your candy notes, you get your floral notes, you get a little bit of that, little bit of spice. And there's some tannins there too, a little bit of tannins. So with the oak, a little bit of a drying effect there. So it's old school, and where you would get tannins, or where you would get a little bit of the oak. It's not overwhelming or any power to the palate, but it's there. It shows itself and lets you know I'm there, but it's not overbearing or anything like that. You've got your wood spice, you've got your floral, you've got a little bit of your candy notes well balanced in there. And that's what it is. That's a good experience. An excellent experience. Cordon Bleu is good. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Oh yeah. Martell XO, 10 to 35 years on the palate. Wow. Smooth on the arrival. Full body. Coats the whole palate, the mouth, tongue. Goes into its cellar-like floral hint of candied. Gives you the candied, jammy-like note. Then it moves on to like a coffee bean, roasted coffee bean. Then it finishes out fairly smooth. The tannins are not there, as with the Cordon Bleu, the oak, with the tannins. That's not there in this one. The XO is more refined. One more time to get the finish down on this one. So, comes in smooth, full body. If you just let it sit in your palate, it comes alive with the different notes that I described before. But the finish on this, it's nice. It's still going with the coffee, nutmeg, a little bit of the wood spice. Let's still finish it out. So it's got a long finish. That's a long finish. Okay. So we've narrowed that out. We've tasted the two. What do I think? Cordon Bleu, a grand classic style cognac. Very, very balanced. Very, very well done. It's really good. I mean, for what it is and what it does, the price points. Also, we have to talk about that. XO, where I brought it, was $190. Martell Cordon Bleu, $140. So it's about a $50 difference between the two. And the differences are the experience, the quality experience between the two. I mean, this one's on the nose. The XO it's got this one beat. For balance, well, knocked out flavors, and gives you a little bit of dryness with the tannins. If you like that type of profile, if you like a little bit of the dryness, a little bit of the oak, with subtleties of this one, in an old style with the, gives you the little bit of the dryness. This is an excellent one to pick up. You can find this probably, I've seen them online where I could have probably gotten one for about $100 and then had them send it to me for about 126 or whatever. But with the tax and stuff here, it comes out to be 140. This one came out to be, with the taxes and everything, 190 something. So I think both of them are great. I'm going to give this one, I've been pretty stingy with my 90s. I'm going to give this a 88. I'm going to give this what I would call an 89.5, as close as a 90 that you can get. It's really good. It's excellent. This is good. This is better, in my opinion. So, there's your price points. I think for the money, I could live with this. If I didn't have the money for this, I definitely would buy this. I'm not going to miss much. So, this is Seattle 206723, everybody. And I'm out.